For this session, we will look at how nursing developed throughout the world, from early caregiving in ancient civilizations to the reforms that have shaped the modern practice. Our objective for this session aimed at summarizing the major eras and influences in the history of nursing around the world. Before we go into the details of nursing's development, it is helpful to see the entire journey at a glance. This timeline shows the major periods in the history of nursing worldwide, from the prehistoric times all the way to the modern 20th century nurse. We begin with the period of intuitive nursing, when caregiving was based on instinct and natural remedies. This was followed by the period of apprentice nursing around the 11th century, where nursing skills were learned through service in religious and monastic hospitals. The 17th century marks the dark period of nursing, when training declined and nursing lost its respect. A major turning point came in 1860 with the period of educated nursing, led by Florence Nightingale, who introduced formal training and scientific principles. Finally, in the 20th century, nursing entered the era of contemporary nursing, characterized by professional education, research, specialization, and global recognition. So this timeline gives us a quick overview of how nursing moved from instinctive care to a respective scientific profession. Nursing began at home long before it had a name. In early societies, illness was often seen as spiritual or magical. The first caregivers were mothers, elder women, and shamans. They fed, comforted, massaged, applied plant remedies, and performed rituals. Care was practical and humane, focused on survival and community, instinctive, and not on formal science. The Code of Hammurabi established early regulations for medical practice in ancient Babylon. It specified fees, discouraged risky experimentation, and requiring specialized physicians for different diseases. Patients can choose among charms, medications, or surgeries. This law represents some of the earliest attempts to organize healthcare and define penalties for malpractice. Nursing during this time remained informal and was not mentioned in the code. In ancient Egypt, medical knowledge was advanced, as shown in records like the Ebers Papyrus, which detailed anatomy, herbal treatments, wound care, and surgical procedures. The practice of embalming greatly enhanced the understanding of human anatomy and encouraged careful observation. Egyptian records noted about 250 recognized diseases. However, nursing was not yet a formal profession during this time, and caring for the sick was mainly provided by slaves and patients' relatives. In ancient Israel, Moses, often called the father of sanitation, introduced laws that emphasized cleanliness, community health, hospitality to strangers, and charitable acts. Religious texts such as Leviticus prescribed practices like male circumcision. Nursing roles were informal and typically carried out by midwives and wet nurses who were valued for their compassion and care. In ancient China, people believed that sickness was caused by spirits and demons, shaping much of their early medical practice. Because dissection of the human body was forbidden, knowledge of internal anatomy remained limited. However, the Chinese developed a rich Materia Medica, a book which specifies the use of herbs and natural remedies to treat infections and muscular ailments. Nursing was not yet a formal profession, and caring for the sick was traditionally provided by the female members of the household. In ancient India, nurses were seen as skilled, observant, clean, and devoted caregivers. Hospitals were established and men often built and organized them. Sushruta, known as the father of surgery, has authored Sushruta Samhita, detailing surgical procedures, anatomy, and treatments, and outlined the roles and qualifications of the nurse. These early nurses combined medical care with providing nourishment to the sick. In ancient Greece, nursing was generally carried out by untrained slaves. The caduceus became the symbol of the medical profession. Hippocrates, who was known as the father of modern scientific medicine, rejected the idea that diseases were caused by supernatural forces. He developed specifically standards for patient assessment and highlighted the importance of observation, record keeping, and the nurse's role in providing care for the patients. In ancient Rome, health was highly valued and illness was often seen as a sign of weakness. Fabiola, a wealthy Roman matron, dedicated her wealth to helping the poor and sick and established the first hospital in the Christian world. Rome also developed public health systems, including aqueducts, sewers, and military hospitals where attendants provided early nursing care. This foundation influenced the later nursing systems. From the foundation laid in ancient civilization, where nursing care was informal and often provided by family, slaves, or attendants, healthcare began to evolve into more organized forms. As societies grew, the need for trained caregivers became evident, leading to the period of apprentice nursing. This refers to the time when nursing was learned entirely through hands-on experience rather than formal schooling. Aspiring nurses worked directly under experienced caregivers, usually in hospitals run by religious groups. Training was informal but practical, and nursing emphasized service, discipline, and obedience. One of the most influential institutions during this time was the Kaiserswerth Institute in Germany. It trained women as deaconesses and provided structured clinical instruction, ethical formation, and hospital experience. Kaiserswerth is often seen as an early model of organized nursing education. During the times of war, the demand for nurses grew rapidly, leading to the expanded nursing roles and creation of organized wartime hospitals. In the Crusades, military hospitals cared for wounded soldiers, with knights, monks, nuns, and lay people providing essential care. Groups such as the Teutonic Knights, the Knights of St. Jerusalem, and the Knights of St. Lazarus became known for their service. Their work represents some of the earliest examples of organized battlefield nursing. This was followed by the Election Brothers, who were a Catholic religious order founded in the 14th century in Germany. They became known for caring for the sick, the poor, and especially the victims of the bubonic plague. Over time, they established hospitals across Europe and North America, providing both medical and spiritual care to those in need. Their work also contributed to the early nursing education through the establishment of a nursing training school in Germany. During this time, women can only enter nursing by joining religious orders, so convents became the main pathway for a nursing career. Religious rules and social restrictions shaped what nursing can do. The Election Brothers collaborated with nursing sisters and lay nurses to provide comprehensive hospital care. St. Clare established hospitals and cared for the sick as part of her charitable mission. Saint Elizabeth of Hungary built hospitals and devoted her life to caring for the poor, the sick, and the marginalized. Saint Catherine of Siena cared for plague victims, offering both physical nursing care and spiritual support. After the apprenticeship era between the 12th and the 17th centuries, the decline of religious nursing orders left hospitals without structured or trained caregivers. Feudalism, wars, and epidemics created overcrowding and unsanitary conditions, with care often provided by prisoners, vagrants, or marginalized individuals. Formal training in nursing disappeared and the profession's reputation suffered. Discipline, education, and standards were lost, marking the lowest point in nursing history and highlighting the need for urgent reform. This started the dark period of nursing. During the Reformation, Martin Luther's challenge to the church shattered the unity of the Christian faith. As church properties were seized, hospitals and schools lost their support, forcing many nurses to flee for their lives. In England alone, hundreds of hospitals were closed, creating a severe shortage of trained caregivers and further weakening the state of nursing before the U.S. Civil War. During this dark period of nursing, there were no provisions for the sick and no structured system of care. Nursing fell into the hands of the society's least desirable women, who worked 7 days a week under harsh and degrading conditions. Many lived in tiny cubby holes near the wards and survived on scraps of food. Without formal education, training, or standards, nursing care was inconsistent and often unsafe. The profession developed a poor reputation as some women resorted to taking bribes, stealing foods, or using alcohol to calm patients. The societal attitudes during this time were overwhelmingly negative, shaping the early image of nursing and highlighting the need for major reforms. After the dark period of nursing marked by poor conditions, lack of training, and damaged reputation, the urgent need for reform became undeniable. The growing public concern, advancing medical knowledge, and the demand for competent caregivers set the stage for a major transformation. This shift opened the door to the period of educated nursing, where formal training, standards, and professional values began to take root. Visionary leaders have played an essential role in elevating the status, education, and professional identity of nursing. Leading the way to reform was Florence Nightingale. Born in 1820 in Italy, she is recognized as the mother of modern nursing and famously called the Lady with the Lamp. She studied hospitals, documenting poor sanitation and social problems, and advocated for hygiene and care for patients affected by unsanitary conditions. She opposed the restrictive hospital admission policies, seeing them as unchristian and harmful. During the Crimean War, she led nurses in caring for wounded soldiers, dramatically reducing mortality rates. Nightingale elevated nursing into a respected and skilled profession. She also published notes on nursing and notes on hospital, laying the foundation for modern nursing education and hospital reform. Then came Clara Barton, known as the Angel of the Battlefield during the U.S. Civil War. She provided life-saving care to wounded soldiers on the front lines. In 1881, she founded the American Red Cross, pioneering organized emergency response and disaster relief efforts. Throughout her life, Barton advocated for the welfare of the soldiers and promoted humanitarian aid, leaving a lasting impact on nursing, public health, and disaster care. Of course, who wouldn't know Lillian Wald, a pioneer of public health nursing? She founded the Henry Street Settlement in New York, bringing care to the poor and underserved communities. She was instrumental in starting school nursing as an experiment in the late 1800s when New York City assigned one nurse to care for 8,671 students. Her goal was to identify students who needed care, provided follow-up with them and their families, and help them return to school as quickly as possible. That first year, absenteeism dropped by 90%, leading the city to hire 25 more nurses for school. Wald also advocated for workplace safety and broader social reforms, helping shape community health systems and public health policies. Her legacy lives on today as school nurses continue to promote health so students can be ready to learn. Moving forward to the late 19th century, nursing schools proliferated in Europe, North America, and other parts of the world. These schools provided structured training programs for aspiring nurses and contributed to the professionalization of nursing as a recognized healthcare discipline. By the early 20th century, there was a growing recognition of the need for a standardized nursing education and accreditation. This led to the establishment of formal nursing education programs, including diploma, associate degree, and bachelor's degree programs, which integrated classroom instructions with clinical experience and prepared nurses for licensure and professional practice. Before we close this topic, let's briefly assess your understanding of the key events in the history of nursing around the world. I'll give you a short formative quiz to reinforce what you have learned and to check if our lesson objectives have been achieved. So feel free to answer them at your own pace. Question number 1. Which period is characterized by instinctive caregiving using herbs, massage, and rituals? A. Dark period of nursing. B. Period of educated nursing. C. Period of intuitive nursing. And D. Apprentice nursing. So you may pause the video here at this point so you can get your answers. Alright, So let us practice again the elimination method. Option A, the dark period, this was during the 12th and the 17th century, was marked by untrained caregivers, poor sanitation, overcrowding of hospitals, and decline of organized nursing because of wars and reformation. There was no emphasis on instinctive caregiving and traditional healing rituals. So I guess we can have them eliminated. Option B, this period, starting of course with Florence Nightingale in 1860, focused on formal education, hygiene, sanitation, and establishment of nursing schools. It emphasized scientific training and professional standards, not instinctive or ritual-based care. So again, we can have them eliminated. Next, option C, the period of intuitive nursing. This period involves instinctive care provided at home by mothers, elders, wise women, and shamans who use herbs, massage, and rituals. Herbs, massage, and rituals. So I like to keep option C. Okay, and then option D, the period of apprentice nursing in 11th century that involves hands-on training under experienced practitioners, particularly in religious institutions and military hospital. Care during this time was structured and skill-based, not instinctive or ritualistic. Okay. So again, we can have them eliminated. So the answer is letter C. Care was provided by mothers, elders, and shamans during the period of intuitive nursing. Is your answer correct? Well, congratulations. Okay, next question. Alright, so next question. Contemporary nursing programs integrate both classroom instruction and hands-on clinical experience. Is the statement A, true, or B, false? You may pause the video. Answer is A, true. The 20th century emphasized structured programs combining theory and clinical practice. Alright, okay, so the global history of nursing shows how far the profession has come from instinctive care to organized, educated, and professional practice. Understanding these roots help us appreciate the progress of nursing and inspires us to continue shaping its future.